What is going on, New York Giants fans? D. Illa here. Wanted to come out and talk about the Giants potentially trading Kayvon Thibodeaux if they do indeed select Abdul Carter at pick number 3 and they decide to pass on Shedeur Sanders, which I'm not necessarily against. They don't know if they're going to pick up his 5th-year option. That's still on the table. It's completely undecided. So if you could package Kayvon Thibodeaux to potentially move up into the first round, I think it's something you definitely consider. And a team that I would look at is the Atlanta Falcons. For starters, let's talk about the New Orleans Saints, because a lot of people seem to believe that the Saints are going to take Shedeur Sanders. I don't know how anybody could ever imagine this could take place considering the dumpster fire that the New Orleans Saints are. Offensively, defensively, they've got some pieces. They've got some good offensive linemen. I mean, the Saints are a complete abomination. And for anybody to come out here and say the Saints are going to zero in on any player in this draft, I don't know how you could ever say something like that, especially the cap situation that team is in, and just the overall situation that roster is in as a whole from a talent perspective. They are horrible, man. They traded away Marshawn Lattimore last year to the Commanders. Like I said, they do have some defensive pieces, but offensively, dude, this is a team that consists of, look at their wide receivers. They have Cedric Wilson Jr., Dante Pettis, we know him. We know Cedric Wilson Jr. also, former Dallas Cowboy. And they have Mason Tipton, a late-round rookie pick in last year's draft. Shows some potential, man, but really hasn't done anything on the field. Everybody's darling last year, A.T. Perry. I don't even think that he's still on the roster. I mean, Juwan Johnson, he was another guy that they really leaned on last year, especially towards the end of the season at tight end. Alvin Kamara just continues to get older, and everybody keeps on waiting for him to bite the dust. And, of course, Taysom Hill. This is a team that has relied on him to play quarterback for them at times, tight end, running back when they needed to spell Alvin Kamara. Like, this is a team that is searching for so many answers all across the board on that roster. And Spencer Rattler ain't doing anything for that team. Spencer Rattler's got a good arm, man, but Spencer Rattler most likely is not developing into anything that team can really use in its future. So no, I do not believe the Saints are going to draft Shedeur Sanders. I don't really think there's any chance in hell. Like, that team needs a lot of different pieces, and that's not necessarily a team that is in position to be drafting a quarterback, because honestly, they are in way worse shape than we are, and how they're picking behind us is kind of a mystery to me, considering, I mean, that kind of tells you just how bad our quarterback situation is when you really do look at the Saints' overall roster in comparison to ours right now. So, if he does get past the Saints, let's talk about who he could go to. I think the main threat when it comes to Shedeur Sanders is the Pittsburgh Steelers, just like they were when it came to us trying to sign Aaron Rodgers. And if he gets to pick number 21, I don't really have any doubts that Mike Tomlin is going to pull the trigger on him. I do believe he would select Shedeur Sanders. So that leads me to Kayvon Thibodeaux and us packaging him with possibly pick number 34 to move back up in the first round to go and get Shedeur Sanders. And let's start by talking about the Atlanta Falcons. This was a team that took Michael Penix out of nowhere, obviously, and this was a team that everybody thought needed an edge rusher. Insert Kayvon Thibodeaux. Now, the Atlanta Falcons have picks number 15, 46, 118 in round 4, and then they have 2 7th-round picks. So they could use the additional draft capital. So if we traded Kayvon Thibodeaux, pick number 34, and maybe another piece to get up there to pick number 15, maybe it takes slightly a bit more, I don't know. But this is a possibility here. You look at the Falcons with all the talent that they do have on the offensive side of the ball. This is a team that could use a pass rusher, man, because offensively, they could take another step with Michael Penix, depending on his development. I mean, you got Drake London, you got Darnell Mooney, you got Bijan Robinson coming out of the backfield. Maybe Kyle Pitts takes another step, who knows? But they could definitely add some pieces to that defense to make them a potential playoff team. Plus, put some draft capital in their pocket from what they lost last year, I think, from the Penix trade. Teams after that, you've got the Cardinals, you've got the Bengals, Seahawks, Bucks, Broncos, obviously a lot of playoff teams thrown in there. All that could use a pass rusher. So if you don't take Shedeur Sanders at pick number 3, this should not be out of the realm of possibility here. Because Shedeur Sanders is far better than Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe. He came from a pro system with Pat Shurmur. He can make all the throws. He's dead accurate when it comes to intermediate throws. He can move the sticks, and you can win with him. What more do you need out of your franchise quarterback? So I'm going to pretty much leave it at that. I'm not going to go any further. You guys get the gist of the idea here. I need to get back to work. So y'all take care. Have a good one. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.